Conventions, the greatest thing ever since the invention of grass and DeviantArt. At least according to these people. If you've ever been at a con, you will either enjoy the abundance of creativity of the art and the cosplays, or you may hate the creeps and smelly people that exist there. However, what if I told you that there was a convention dedicated to Touhou? Well, it was called Touhoucon. If you were there, you might have seen it as a great experience filled with like-minded people discussing philosophical topics like, oh, why is Cerno smart, and why does Reimu need donation, and why Phantasmagoria Flower Review is the best Touhou game. To the ones who weren't there, aka me, and 99% of other people, I just imagine it as a bunch of Reimus and sweaty cosplay walking around and buying CDs of their favorite Doujin music groups. However, when did this convention take place? Right, it's been dead for a while. This convention should have been a great annual pilgrimage of Western Touhou fans to meet up and have a good time. So, what the hell actually happened? Touhou and conventions have had a long history ever since the very beginning. I mean, Zun sold his first two Touhou games at Comic-Con 52 in 1997, and ever since, he has sold most of his official games at Comic-Con or another convention ever since. So, what the hell is Comic-Con? Well, in short words, it's the Japanese Comic-Con, but in long words, it's a non-profit doujinshi convention where thousands of quote-unquote circles are able to sell their fan works just for the love of being a fan. You can see various series at the conventions like Fate, Idolmaster, Kantai Collection, the VTubers, and Touhou itself. You can even see various cosplayers and booths from companies selling their garbage there. Yeah, there is a lot going around here, and it's a given that it's said to be the most popular convention in Japan. I hope you enjoyed my Wikipedia summary. Anyway, after the explosion of Embodiment of Scarlet Devil, Touhou grew and grew to be the biggest fan work at Comic-Con, so it was a no-brainer that there would be its own dedicated convention at Touhou. In 2004, some lads and Zun himself decided to start Retisai, which began as just a way for people to distribute trial versions of Imperishable Night and Immaterial Missing Power. But the convention grew bigger and bigger every year into a Touhou-only mega convention, so big that Zun started selling his official stuff there sometimes, and even a Retisai happened in Taiwan one year. But Taiwan is the farthest that Retisai convention would go, sadly, so in 2014, some lads in the United States decided to start up a Western Retisai of sorts called Touhoucon. Finally we're here, which would be happening from the 20th to the 21st of September in 2014 and taking place at the Marriott in Anaheim, California, and that is where the convention would take place that year. Since I'm finally done with that backstory, what the heck was happening at Touhoucon 2014? Well, quite a lot actually. A cosplay masqueraded with some nice cosplays, a Gohei giveaway, vendors selling nice stuff, Pocky Dominoes, Kakashi from Naruto doing some risque stuff to cosplayers, Phantasmagoria Flower Review, aka the best Touhou game of all time, having a giant competition, some panels that I assume were pretty interesting, and even my lord and savior himself performing a miracle on Wakasaga Hime. Wow. It seems like a lot happened. You can see that the people were having a lot of fun, and I assume that the staff and vendors were having fun too, so it was a no-brainer that a 2015 event was going to happen. But little did they know that was the calm before the storm that turned everything to poop. Touhoucon 2015 was set to happen on the 18th to the 20th of September 2015, and was said to be bigger, better, and have many other quote-unquote special guests of honor, which basically refers to all the doujin groups, music creators, and artists that attended. I mean, we got Akai Ryosei, Yuhei Satellite, which did the soundtrack for Memories of Phantasm, Nomiko, which was the main singer behind the famous Bad Apple song, and Red Alice. Even according to this ANN article, Rika Muranaka, who has composed the soundtrack for Metal Gear Solid, Silent Hill, and Castlevania Symphony of the Night, attended. I never heard her before, but that's pretty freaking awesome. Plus, that convention was the first place where you can buy, Gomajo Densetsu ni Yoga no Jingo ga, oh damn it, Touhouvania 2, directly from the creators, Frontier Asia. There were many panels like the Walfas panel, the Danmakufu panel, and even panels for specific fan games. Since Touhou is so freaking big, there is a certainty that there will be merchandise like figures, shirts, nendos, fan games, music CDs, and probably even more. Maybe some fumos were there, I don't know. Plus, the cosplays at this con pretty freaking awesome. By the way, thanks to this Reddit user called James7132 for making this post reviewing 2015 Touhoucon. I hope he doesn't mind me stealing the information to create this video. Anyway, this con was supposed to be a dream, right? Literally heaven. Of course, God didn't make us perfect, so there were a few problems at the convention. Like those meanies at airport security, the con staff was a bit mean, like screaming at congoers not to shoot photography or shoot video, the staff not being nice, this and that. And apparently there was a scandal the previous year about something. I couldn't find anything about it in specific, but I heard on a Tumblr thread that there was this one guy not being nice to other cosplayers on a Touhoucon 2015 likely, so maybe that was the reason? Don't take my word for certain, but I guess that was the main reason why the con staff was a bit more strict in 2015 or something, but the main elephant in the room was the budget. More specifically, the staff spent way too much and gone over their budget. Remember those guests of honor that I mentioned earlier? Yeah, it's not exactly cheap to fly famous people over from Japan to California for a convention. The con promised dealers and guests free rooms, which should be cool if they could afford it, but here's the funny thing. They couldn't afford it. So weeks after the con, many people, including the guests of honor, got suddenly charged for over $1,200 from the hotel. And to add salt to the wound, the special guests had to figure it out on their own instead of the con staff notifying them, which is not a good sign if you want to host another con. Touhou Company, which is the group behind Touhoucon 2014 and 2015, got into some massive debt and, even worse, got into some trouble with the law, which is probably something you don't want to do, especially if you already had scandals at both of the cons you hosted. And when I read this one Facebook group dedicated to resolving the whole Touhoucon 2015 incident, yeah, it does not look good on the staff. I remember emailing one of the guys behind the Touhoucon thing, and I was telling them, hey, what the heck happened? You know, he emailed me back saying, oh, you know, I can answer some questions. And, you know, I asked him the questions, and he never responded, sadly. And it's been over 2 months, so I don't think he wants to respond to them, which, you know, it's fair. It's probably a stressful time back then, so he probably wants to forget it. I assume that a 2016 event was planned in advance, but it never happened due to lack of trust in the Touhou Company and the lack of funds of getting a hotel in Anaheim, which is near Disneyland, so it's a lot of competition there. Likely the competition that the Touhou Company could not afford. Now, a little bit of a side note, but when I was writing the script, I've noticed a few similarities between this con and Las Pegasus Unicon 2013. Hear me out. Both were supposed to be great conventions hosted in the west coast of America. Both had many famous guests appear from their respective fandoms, you know, the Pony Convention having the voice actors, the Touhou Convention having the Doujin artists. Both went over their budgets due to overspending on the special guests and hotel rooms. Thus, the hotel and the con staff had to force the con-goers to pay out of pockets, which, you know, did not make people happy. Anyone actually notice that? I mean, at the very least, the Touhoucon people didn't have to use bloody play money at their convention. If you haven't read up the story of Las Pegasus Unicon, it's a pretty interesting story. You should read it up, but yeah. If you wonder what happened to Touhoucon after 2016, nothing much really. I guess the whole money issue got solved and this convention just became a memory of those who went to it all those years ago. To the people who wanted a Touhou specific con, it was a big pity when Touhoucon 2016 did not come back, despite the poor staff management. However, there is going to be something massive happening 1 year from now in 2023, Touhou Fest. It is said to be a new dedicated Touhou convention featuring artists, cosplayers, music, games, and food. However, will it be a disaster like Touhoucon 2015? When the time comes, we shall see. Hopefully my parents can allow me to go to this con because I want to do some funny shit there, like, you know, film, document, you know, just do the funny stuff, okay? So, yeah, kind of a short video, kind of sad too, but I was a bit shocked no one talked about this convention disaster on YouTube before. You know, I was inspired by watching videos about the failures of Dashcon, Rainforest, and Las Pegasus Unicon, and after learning about Touhoucon's existence, I think this video deserved to exist, even if it was explained by my admittedly shitty writing skills. If you have something more to add to this video that I didn't have, you know, please tell me in the comments below because I am definitely missing something because, you know.
Oh, it's not like my researching skills are the best. In fact, they're quite shit.
So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video somehow. So, yeah, go in peace, my brothers and sisters.